What's up, everybody? It's the Ginger Yeti, and I'm checking in from home. Getting in another one of those beers from the Advent calendar, from the Beer Fridge Advent calendar, getbeerfridge.com. It's a gift I got for Christmas, but I just didn't have time to do it for Advent. So I'm interspersing these beers in throughout the next couple months here. And this is beer number 3. So I am pulling these out in order to review them in order. I said this is beer number 3, and I'm not exactly sure what this beer is, at least the name. So on the can here, it says it is Ruben's Brews Festive Ale. It's a winter warmer. Ale brewed with orange zest and coca nibs. And when I went to look this up, there were multiple different check-ins or categories or whatever of this beer on Untappd. And the same thing with Beer Advocate. But it seems they're all the same beer. So like on Untappd, some of these are the Festive Ale 2024. It's from Ruben's Brews, Seattle, Washington, 7.5% alcohol. Other people call it Adam's Festive Ale, 7.5%, and list the 43 IBUs, still the same brewery. Now, I did notice one difference on the can is the can art has changed between the Adam's Festive Ale and just the regular Festive Ale. So I don't know if they changed up the recipe, just decided to update the label, and now people think it's a different beer or what. But it's kind of rough when there's multiple beers with the same variation in name and same brewery, basically the same label art, and they're all very low in check-ins. I mean, the Festive Ale 2024 on Untappd only had 304 check-ins. The Adam's Festive Ale only had 500 check-ins. And Beer Advocate was the same way. There wasn't even enough check-ins to have a rating for either one of those beers. But since this doesn't say Adam's Festive Ale on it, I'm just going to call it the Festive Ale. So like I said, I've talked too much about that already. Festive Ale Winter Warmer. On the back here, it says, our homage to the warming winter ale brewed with robust malts and a little rye and classic Pacific Northwest hops, along with orange zest and coca nibs. Imagine eating a milk chocolate orange in front of a glowing fireplace, and you've got the right idea. I did that Hop and Frog chocolate orange. It was amazing. Wonder if this is going to be the same way. 7.5% alcohol, like I mentioned numerous times. There is a canned on date here, and it kind of says something else, but it's on the rim of the can again, like a lot of times it happens, but it does say 10/23/24, so October. A couple months old here. It's mid-January. Ruben's Brewing out of Seattle. I've had one beer from them before, and it was their Crikey IPA, but I had it about 10 years ago, but I did like it. So this is going to be the second beer I've ever had from them, and hopefully it's good. I like the first one a lot. So like I said, depending on which one of these beers you look at, the Festive Ale 2024 or the Adam's Festive Ale, they get a 3.67 or a 3.66. One has 304 check-ins, one has 502 check-ins. I'm going to assume it's the same beer because everything else seems to be the same about it, which would give it a total score of about 3.66 or 3.67, depending on how you wanted to swing it, with 808 check-ins, 806 check-ins. That's way too much about Untappd and Beer Advocate and all that. One of these days, I think I'm going to do a rant video about Untappd. I do get a little bit of orange. Like, I don't want to say orange zest, but when you're sitting there and actually like zesting the orange or whatever you call that, and you get that citrus scent, but it's not robust, but it's there. That's kind of what I'm getting. That nice orange scent, that's when you first crack the skin, but it haven't got into the like fruity, fleshy bit. Maybe a hint of like winter spices, but nothing's very strong on the nose. And that's a nice, like watered down cola color. I mean, I can see through it. I can see my fingers on the other side of the glass through it. It's got about 2 fingers of severely nicotine-stained ceiling tile white. I got too much stuff laying around this desk right now. It was a fun weekend. Get out my SRM chart here. I'd probably give that about a 12 on the SRM chart. Because that's just like a watered down ruby cola color. Talked enough that I'm sure you've all been bored and shut this off and moved on. But again, like I said, this is from the getbeerfridge.com advent calendar. This is beer number 3, and cheers. Low end to medium body. No indication of the alcohol. 7%, don't notice it. That's bland. There's not much there. I mean, there's a little bit of maltiness. A little bit of tiny bit of hot bitterness on the back end. And that's about it. It's a bland beer. 3.66, 3.67, way too high. Way too high. If I really think about it, I might be able to find a little bit of orange in there. And a little bit of almost imperceptible chocolate, but this is disappointing. This is, I mean, I don't know what this would cost you on its own, but I wouldn't buy it. This is just winter warmer, no way. I mean, it's not even festive. It's just kind of a watery, I don't know. I mean, as I keep taking sips of it, I do get a little bit of that like orange zest. A little bit of the coca, I guess. But it's just not good. I mean, it's not all awful. It's not a sink pour. It's just, I wouldn't buy it again. I don't know if we'd still be friends if you handed it to me. If you never had it before and you handed it to me, I'd be all right with it. But it's just, I don't know. It's going to be a let it play for me at best. Yeah, Ruben's Brews. I really like your Crikey IPA, but that was 10 years ago. A lot of things can change in 10 years. I mean, I gave that a really nice score on Untappd. This definitely does not deserve the average scores it gets. Maybe this is a bad can, but I doubt it. Let it play. I mean, there's much better winter ales out there, winter warmers out there. Well, let me know if I got this one wrong. Have you had this beer before? Did you like it? Because I'm not impressed with it at all. And as always, embrace the adventure.